Ricardo, welcome to the stage. Excited to hear from you this morning. I know you're ready to go. I know you've been awake. All right, good morning.
Thank you for the great introduction. And it is funny about the tacos, I'll be honest. And I actually started with Kalak, our office manager. And I can't say great things about Kalak, but she invited me one time to an event with my fellow Sequoian partners, agents, colleagues. And it was this really, it was sushi, really intense, as far as like all this great food that, I don't want to say unfortunately, I really wasn't introduced to, but it was like an experience to see so much variety at the table, right? I mean, for me, it was always like a lion roll, whatever. But anyway, the funny thing about that episode was Kalak looked at me and she said, "It looks like you're still hungry." And I turned around and go, "Yeah, I'd love to go grab some tacos." Anyway, that's how it kind of came on,
Oh my gosh, I love that.
But again, no disrespect to the sushi, of course.
Well, that's the thing about sushi. I'm with you on that one. It's delicious, but you still feel like you need more food. So I'm there with you on the tacos too. I mean, I understand completely.
Yeah, so that's kind of always been a running on joke. Anytime any of our fellow agents visit somewhere, hey, how are the tacos? Anyway, so we go. That's how we kind of build that little taco thing.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's get into it. We're going to ask the burning questions that I think a lot of people here might want to know. So can you share a little bit about your path from, starting out as a realtor to just being a partner now in the brokerage?
Yeah. So I started out, got into real estate, again, not knowing a whole lot of what this journey was where it was going to take me. And I started out with another company and eventually started enjoying what I was doing. And shortly after that, I actually became a part owner of another brokerage. And and some of the questions you were going to lead up to is about the partnership. And, I realized that I really enjoyed being in that leadership role, but soon realized that how important having the right partnership and right branding was important. So it took a while. I don't say a while. It took that kind of that learning curve to realize that being in the right organization is really key to your success because you really want to be around people that you enjoy working with. So that's how it started. It started with kind of getting involved with real estate and finding out so many different options that you have and directions that you can go in. So that's what's kind of what led me towards eventually becoming a partner.
That's an interesting journey for a lot of people because I think a lot, there's a few people that really think about whether or not they want to take that on. So kind of a cool way to do that. Did you always know from the beginning that you wanted to own a brokerage, or did you just develop that idea as you kind of got into this industry more?
Developed as I went along. In the very beginning, I was very reclusive. I didn't really want to talk to anyone. I was in a private office working with my, assistant. And we were just, I wasn't really open to a lot of people. I really didn't want to sit there and do small talk or chitter chatter. I just felt like I had a lot to do and I didn't want to open up. But as I went along this journey, I started realizing that there was a lot of agents in my offices that really needed a lot of help. And I felt like they weren't getting it from some of the managers or people that were in leadership roles. And I realized that a lot of people that were in leadership roles just didn't have the capacity or were deep enough as say I was, which I thought I was, which I felt I was a little deeper than they were. So I was able to kind of reach out to them and, they were willing to listen. So I was willing to speak.
I can appreciate that. Sometimes we realize something is our forte, especially when it's something that we're not receiving from other people. So if you're not receiving that kind of guidance and leadership, sometimes you want to give that to other people. So I think that is a really great way to figure that out. What about when you open an office with a partner, it's going to have its challenges. How does someone make sure that that's going to be the right move for them?
That is probably the most important question out of the questions I have. Partnerships are somewhat like it's a business partnership, but you're tied financially to someone on the other side that you hope has the same vision and work ethic as you do. So when I met Calvin, we had a lot of common ground, and coming out of the gate, I didn't have a very good partnership in the beginning with my first venture out as being a partner, business owner. So I knew that this next time around, I really had to align myself with someone that was like-minded. And I did, we kind of came together, and through an interest of a mutual friend. But the most key part of this whole conversation was that I had him meet my wife. And if she liked him, then I knew this was going to work. And she liked him. So here we are.
The ultimate test, right?
She gave him the green light. I figured anyone that knows me in the office, like Megan, there's always got to be someone I have to blame. If it doesn't go right, I'm going to blame her. And I felt that this would have been a good scapegoat if it didn't work out this time around. I was gonna blame her. It can never be my fault. Is really what I want to say.
Megan says it's usually her fault.
It is her fault.
Oh, I love it. That's cracking me up right now. And also, it's probably good that your wife's not watching, huh? She would say it's always your fault. So
she doesn't like to argue with me, to be honest with you. She just lets me have my way and just shakes her head and walks away. So that's how come we have a good marriage. It's very one-sided when it comes to these types of conversations. But she gave Calvin a thumbs up, and it was kind of like meeting the parents. So and it's been a good journey. I'm real happy with the fact, but partnerships are super, super important. It's almost like when you're trying to when you're there speaking to another agent to come into your office, it's got to be it's got to be a natural fit. And I have a strong personality that I'm very driven as far as how I view things. And Calvin has a personality that is there to help guide you and grow you. And if you're willing to also be a good listener to your partner, because we all learn from each other.
Yes.
It works. It really works.
So those are some of the key ingredients then in, figuring out how to build and maintain a successful office. Are there a few other ingredients or tips that you would give people for building a really successful office?
Yeah, it's consistency, continuity. Make sure you lead by example. Make sure that you're humble, have empathy, and you're a good listener towards your agents. Everyone learns at a different capacity. Not everyone is going to be a pitcher. Not everyone's going to be a great, have a great batting percentage. You have to figure out as a good leader how to provide support where you can help them the most. It's not always about you. Good leaders need to sit back and let them go out there and figure it out themselves. One thing about Sequoia, I'll tell you this, and not just because I'm part of the organization, we really truly care about growing our agents in a way that we want them to be successful. We put them up front, and it is the truth. I hit enough home runs in my life where I'm good. I feel very fortunate to be where I'm at in my life, but I really, and I think Kelvin's, and I'm not speaking for him, but I think we really enjoy seeing the growth of our agent population be successful. You got to learn how to pivot too. You got to be you got to be on top of things. You can't be sitting there counting all your wins, because as I used to say on the trading floor, you're only as good as your last trade. So you got to stay hungry.